All right, so I've been back for 2 weeks now and it is time to pull this bike apart. I could have done it sooner, but I've been waiting on my hands to get a bit better. The vibration from the buckled front wheel just absolutely killed my hands, and like the grip strength in the mornings is absolutely terrible. And also the guy that can hopefully fix the front wheel is back this week. So I've got a 8-hour round trip to go get that fixed, plus the time it takes to fix it. And I need to get it all apart. So I was sort of waiting on that because I didn't want all parts spread out throughout the garage without being able to ride it until I got the wheel back anyway. So yeah, so that's why I've been putting this off a little bit. But it's time to pull everything off, especially the fuel tank, and we will check out the air filter, see how red and caked of dust it is. I'm expecting it to be not that bad, but we'll see. What else? I'm gonna actually pull all the bars off as well. There's all red dust all through them as well, so we'll give them a good clean out, like even now, just on that little rubber down there, red dust. And that's after washing the bike, so it just stays everywhere. I've noticed on the black of the rear here where the panniers were strapped across, just where the belt was sort of vibrating against the seat, it sort of embedded the red dust into the black, so hope we can try and get that out. Same as on the actual racks themselves, where the white laser writing is, the red's embedded itself into that as well, so it does get in everywhere. Even all these switches, I'll pull them apart, contact clean the works. I am still going to do a service on it, but in about 1,000 K's time, it's due for its Desmo, or first Desmo service. So yeah, to save up for that one, I think, but we'll see. All right, I'm not going to bore you talking throughout this whole thing. I'll just do a little montage of me pulling the bike apart. So that's the tank off, and it actually doesn't look too bad. Like once we get the filter out, there's a little bit of red dust. It's not crazy, so I don't think it's going to be super duper dirty, which is good. So what got damaged from the trip? Well, nothing apart from the rim, really. The other day I pulled all these covers off, and just from the bumps, these are fuel relays. They're just like a little rubber slot, goes over a little clip there. They'd all bounced off, and that was it. It's the only things that have come off that I've found so far anyway. Dirt wise, see underneath the tank, it's all pretty clean. So it takes air in from the back up here anyway, so it's just all splash. But one thing I do need to do is measure these tyres, because that's the important bit. Really got to get this wheel off today, take the brakes off, and I'll probably even take the tyre off before it goes as well. But we'll measure how much these tyres have worn down. Okay, so I measured on the back of the single block. So single block, twin block, single block. The single blocks actually do look a little bit higher, especially here. Let's have a measure. All right, that one is 7 mil. Yep, 7 mil. So I've only lost 2 mil off the front, because it was 9. Now we're down to 7 with my basic math skills. Once this rim's fixed, I'll put the tyre on the other way. just to keep it wearing a bit even, but that's great. 2 mil over what, 9,600 Ks. All right, so the rear's obviously going to wear a bit more, carrying a bit of weight. These were 12 mil. That's saying 6.5 mil. Yep, 6.5 mil. Try another one. Yep, 6.5 mil. All right, so pretty much halved the center of the tires, which I'm happy with. That's, yeah, so that's already 9,600 Ks, and we're half on the tire, so could definitely do the trip again. Because I've done so much road riding, they've started to square off a little bit. But I can fix that up. See, these sides, these haven't been touched. You can see I haven't been leaning the bike at all. So that's all on the center contact, and it's only taken it down to half. That's great. What I'll do now though is take this wrapping out. And we will unscrew all this again. Get in there and see what this filter's doing, but I'll just give that all a bit of a blow down with the air compressor first, just to get rid of all the loose stuff. All right, so if you're like a complete hack, you could take these 4 bottom screws out, pry it up and get the filter out, but you just spend a little bit more time, take all the screws out and do it properly. I can probably guarantee you're less likely to damage something. And there's all little washers on these, so you've got to be careful. I dropped one last time I took this off and it took me forever to find it. And these are very coarse threaded screws. So by putting too much pressure to leave this up, you're probably going to rip it out anyway. And then your airbox isn't going to seal properly, and that's when you're going to get the dust in there. Let's find a spot to put all these. Okay, so that should be the computer out. What I'll do now is I'll just work on the ones deep down in there. So there's 6 to get this cover off. So I'll get this all the way down in there. Just work it little by little. Or you can come in from the top with a longer one. Don't think I have a longer one. Yeah, so I'll do that, and then we'll take the cover off. All right, taking all the screws out. Take this cover off, and see how dirty she is. All right, so the cover's not too bad. Let's have a look at the filter itself. A little pre-filter. The pre-filter's captured some stuff. A little bit dirty through there. Oh yeah, she's pretty filthy. How to get this out? There you go. All right, so that's the dirt. Dirt's all come through, but on the other side, clean as a whistle. Look at that. Just so I don't get any dirt anywhere, what I'll do is clean my hands. Just sit the original paper filter back in. That's why we like clean this one. I'm not going to use that. Just then I can clean up all around the edges. Yeah, let's go into a bit more light and have a look at this filter. Okay, so the pre-filter. So that's how it was sitting in the bike. So headlights. Picked up a little bit of seeds and grass. And on the inside, look at that. Picked up all the red dust. But on the good side, nothing came through. That is clean as, look at that. So I've got to clean this now and put it back in. That's why I've just put the paper one sitting there at the moment. Given that this has only done 10,000 Ks, I'm not going to pull the spare out just yet. Just picked up a little bit of dirt along the edge. Yeah, it's awesome. Worked well. I just pulled the center out. That's just for me, but yeah, there is nothing. Just gotta get that out so I can wash it. But yeah, no dirt got through at all, which is awesome. Can't even read unifilter on that really. Definitely recommend. These bolts look like they're rusted, but it's just the red dirt, which gets in everywhere. I'm just taking these off now, just to make it a bit easier for when I jack it up to pull the axle out. I really want to take these off so I can check to see if the rotors are warped. It seems a lot of people are having trouble with warped rotors at the moment as well. So the wheel still holds air, like just. It's probably around 20 PSI at the moment. So in order to get this rim fixed, which that's the damage there, that spoke's loose. The others seem to be a bit tight. When I was motoring along, there was a couple loose. But you can't get into every single one of these to tighten up, which is very annoying. But we'll get this one fixed. Okay, so I've just taken the brake rotors off, just so we can get into the spokes. Not sure if I need to take the tyre off or not, because we can get to the spokes on the outside, so I might leave it on until I get there. Just for future reference, the side of the rim that has the writing on it is the side that has the ABS. Now to get the wheel fixed for the bike, I've got well, from home, it's a 3.5 hour drive there, 3.5 hour drive back. So I'm going to do an overnight somewhere, hopefully down the coast. Might go to Bells Beach, we'll see how we go. There's a lot of roadworks the other side of Melbourne, especially Westgate, around the Westgate Bridge area. So I want to try and get through that at a decent time, so I don't get stuck doing 20 Ks an hour. Alrighty, it's been about 3 weeks and I've just got a phone call saying that the wheel for the bike is ready. So 3.5 hour drive back down on the other side of Geelong to pick this wheel up. Now there's good and bad news in that well, the good news is the wheel's round. The bad news is there's a crack in it. Now the crack didn't happen on the outside where the spokes go, but it's happened in the center. So I don't know how bad this crack is. I won't know till I have a look at it, but he says it's good to go. It's still usable. So once the, let's say, better rims arrive in a couple of months' time, these will be the secondary rims. So yeah, I wouldn't go on big trips with this crack in the rim, but it's going to have to do for the time being. So we'll get down there and let's see how bad this crack actually is. So the wheel is back from getting fixed. This is where the damage was. In the middle there, that white line, it actually cracked when it was getting straightened out. So it's all round, so that's not an issue there, but it did get a crack down the middle, which you can see there. And then to keep it tubeless, bang. So to keep it tubeless, Davconned up the crack. So we'll see how that goes. I'll put the Pirellis back on the stock rims once the other rims arrive, or if these ones are worn out, I'll just buy another set to put on the new rims, which is probably going to be the case anyway, depending on how long they're going to be. But yeah, let's get this tyre mounted up and on. Let's see if we can get these on. Tyre lube. go. There we go. All right. I'll grab the valve and then we will pump her up. Okay. There we go. That's what we're on. Yep. 50 psi. Can't feel a bump on the outside, slightly feel a bump on the inside, but so these will be the temporary rims essentially. Let's see what's that now. 20. Yep. Alright, I'll leave that for an hour or two and we will see how much air it loses. Should hold air. It was still holding air before I took it off, so should be no problems there. Give it a good wash up, put the brakes back on, put it back on the bike, and we are good to go. Just have to put the plastics back on the bike and back in action until the new ones come.